It's been a wild week for Palantir with the stock shooting up and then back down again. Here to break down what's behind all the movement is MarketBeat analyst Chris Markoch. Chris, this feels like a week for the record books for Palantir. I know you've been a fan of the stock for a while,
Yeah.
but what's going on right now?
Well, the stock really just shot higher on news that the company's not going to be trading on the New York Stock Exchange as of Friday. It'll be trading on the NASDAQ. But what really got the stock moving was the company believes it's going to be able to fulfill the listing requirements to be a part of the NASDAQ 100 index. And if that happens, it means that funds such as the Invesco QQQ, which are benchmarked to the NASDAQ 100 index, are going to start to have to add Palantir stock. That's why that was the reason for the movement up in the stock. Yeah.
Let's talk about just how far this stock moved up.
Yeah.
Let's pull up the chart here.
Sure.
That
Sure.
5-day is really crazy to see how much the stock went up. And then come Monday,
Yeah.
it went down almost just as much as it went up the week before.
Absolutely. So it bounced up, and then it came all the way back down here to about where it started the week. And then this was the price action late week, and it got all the way up to over $65 a share when it closed on Friday night. So that was a 10% gain from the start of the week to here was about a 10% gain. Lost that. Was in pre-market on Monday morning. It lost that. And you'll notice though that where it bottomed here is about the same as where it started. So that's kind of telling me that Palantir is forming a fairly good base of support right there around that $58, $59 level.
So you're looking at support around $58, $59. But I feel like just a couple of months ago, you and I were on here doing a video about will Palantir reach $50? So this stock has seen quite a bit of movement that now $58 is that support level and not a will it reach that level.
Right. And so if we can just take a look here, Bridget, we can see that 3 months ago, and we were doing the video for could Palantir hit $50 when the stock was trading down around here. And that's, right around the $35 level. And since then, look at all the gains that it's made. So clearly Palantir's answered that question. And then even if you look here, I mean, it's bounced off that level of what looked like support at around, $40, and it's just been shooting higher. So yeah, this has been a big winner for the year, and it just keeps on setting new levels of support as it goes higher.
I think that's so right. It's been a big winner for the year. And is that why there's so many traders getting in on this stock right now, kind of moving those 10% swings into each direction?
Palantir is a fairly heavily shorted stock, but that hasn't necessarily worked out really well if you're a short seller, because there's a lot of retail investors that are still committed to holding the stock for the long term. They're not selling their shares. And so when you see a price movement like that, there's really not a lot of opportunity. Now, some of the price action that you saw on Monday morning, that may have been just people taking profits on the stock. And if that's the case, that's fine. The stock is overvalued by any fundamental measure.
Right. Let's get into that value. What
Yeah.
are analysts predicting and how often are those price targets changing because the stock is growing and moving so quickly?
Price targets haven't changed a whole bunch since their last earnings report. Um, Goldman Sachs came out and they raised it to like $41. They were at like $31. So analysts are still believing that Palantir is overvalued. And I'm not going to sit here and argue with anybody. By any objective measure, Palantir stock is overvalued. The question is, if you're a long investor, you're long. And so you would probably love to see Palantir pull back even more than it's pulled back right now, and you could continue to accumulate shares at a much lower price. But as we're showing in the chart, that doesn't look like it's really likely to happen. So really the question you just have to ask yourself is, are you going to get in? Are you not going to get in? Options trading, actually, I put in my article, options trading might have been a really good strategy, but now that the stock's already dipped on Monday morning, I don't know if, there's probably an option trade in there somewhere, but I'd have to go back and look at the charts to see, where I would want to be putting my price targets for that.
Absolutely. Now, this is such an interesting stock. We've done
It
a
is.
lot of different stories about what Palantir is, what this company provides.
Mhm,
It's one big player in AI, and we'll get to that in a minute. But
mhm.
first, I want to talk about a premium report you can only find here on MarketBeat that outlines the 10 best AI stocks to own in 2024. Click the link and see if Palantir makes that list. There are so many AI stocks like this one that are really gaining tremendous success. So, where exactly does Palantir fit in on the AI story?
Here's the thing about AI is I was just hearing last week something that's really interesting is that there's as the earnings season has gone through, there's some analysts that are becoming a little bit, how should we say, a little bit skeptical about AI. And that's because companies are reporting that they're making this investment in AI, but they're not necessarily seeing the return on that investment in what AI is delivering for them. That's the key thing with Palantir and their ontology. What Palantir is being able to provide their customers with is usable data that the companies have never been able to figure out how to make any use of it before, and Palantir is delivering meaningful insights to those customers, and that's the difference, is Palantir is being able to show the customers a return on their investment with meaningful insights using AI, and that's where Palantir has a significant lead, and which is why it makes Palantir not just a one of many, but right now it's the one of one.
Yeah, you can find a lot of Chris's other videos where he's talked about Palantir and why this company is so unique.
Mhm.
Part of the reason we're seeing so much movement in their
Yeah.
stock right now. Oh, Chris, thank you so much for breaking down what's been going on with Palantir this week. We will stay tuned to all the moves in this stock and many others in the AI space. Thanks for joining us here on Market Beat. And as always, happy investing.